Men today are exhausted. We spend our lives building personalities, curating traits, and projecting strength. But most of what we call our personality is actually a highly sophisticated defense system. From a young age, society trains you to project complete invulnerability. You learn very quickly that vulnerability is a liability, so you build a rigid emotional mask. You don't do this out of malice, but simply to survive the world around you. We tend to view the loudest guy in the room as the alpha, but dominating a conversation, micromanaging every minor detail, or loudly proclaiming your own virtues, these are not signs of strength. They are the exhausting sounds of a man trying to convince himself, and you, that he isn't crumbling underneath. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche warned us about this exact dynamic. He observed that this performance of surface-level strength is a total lie. It is driven by a quiet terror that without extreme control, the person's inner chaos will take over. Armor is heavy, and masks are never perfect. Under stress, or when a conversation hits a little too close to home, the mask slips. The truth leaks out in a nervous laugh, avoiding eye contact, or a sudden, sharp defensiveness. If we cannot read these cracks, we remain stuck at the surface level. We don't just miss the truth, we end up making decisions based on someone else's performance, effectively allowing their unacknowledged fears to dictate our reality. One of Nietzsche's sharpest insights involves the mirror of criticism. When a man constantly judges others, he is deploying a psychological defense mechanism known as projection. When someone fiercely mocks another person for being emotional or weak, he is locked in a secret war with his own suppressed feelings. The judgment is an attempt to distance himself from the exact trait he fears most in his own mind. This diagram illustrates the true path of our judgments. To understand someone's core, ignore who they admire, look at who they attack. Tearing down another's success as mere luck exposes a deep well of secret envy and a lingering sense of inadequacy. Every harsh judgment a man casts on the world is secretly his own unwritten autobiography. You know the guy who always has to be in control, always composed, always performing certainty? Genuine peace never feels the desperate need to perform. Real confidence just sits quietly in the room. Then there is the loud saint. When a person constantly signals their purity and moral high ground, it disguises a deep need for superiority. Morality becomes a tool to dominate others while feeling completely righteous about it. The ego uses exaggeration as a volume knob. The man who loudly claims he absolutely doesn't care what anyone thinks usually cares the most. He cranks the volume to drown out his own exhausting self-doubt. The opposite extreme is equally revealing. Listen for the heavy, rehearsed silence that falls when a conversation approaches a threatening topic, or the robotic, one-word replies to a deep question. That silence is not empty space. It is the sound of a man standing guard over a secret he hasn't even admitted to himself. Both the deafening noise of the ego and the absolute silence of avoidance are tools. The herd uses them every day to avoid confronting a painful reality. The hardest truth about human behavior is that people don't lie to you first. The primary target of a man's deception is his own mind. Phrases like, "I'm fine," "I'm over it," and "it doesn't matter" are rarely true. They are practiced survival mantras, repeated endlessly to keep the person's fragile identity from collapsing. These survival tactics aren't a recent invention. They are the refined echoes of a much older script. Nietzsche's deeper truth is that our adult masks are often just the elaborate fortifications we built to protect childhood wounds. This visualization shows how childhood trauma dictates adult actions. Past pain pulses, driving massive adult reactions. The child forced to earn love becomes the adult who obsessively performs. The original pain fades, leaving them to reenact hollow scripts that kept them safe decades ago. To make sense of a man's erratic actions today, you have to stop looking at the adult in front of you. You have to identify the terrified child he had to be in the past. Now turn the mirror around. Think about your own sudden urges, the impulse to interrupt a colleague, the need to micromanage your partner, or the quick reflex to tear down a stranger's success. When you feel that tension rise, ask yourself what you are actually terrified of losing. Whether it is a fear of abandonment, a dread of humiliation, or the terror of being forgotten, that is the exact fear driving your mask in that tense moment. There is a strict moral boundary here. Reading these psychological patterns must never be used as a weapon to gain leverage over people, or as a cheap way to feel superior. The true purpose of this knowledge is to stop reacting blindly to the sharp edges of someone's armor. It allows you to start connecting with the fragile human hiding underneath. There is a profound shift in perspective when you can look an arrogant bully in the eye, ignore the performance, and clearly see the overwhelming guilt and fear that is actually driving him. You simply stop taking the attacks personally. Recognizing the scared child behind the rigid mask is the ultimate act of grace. It is the one realization that makes a man truly unshakable and ultimately free.